So today we're talking about maps. So the reason I want to talk about maps today is because it's so helpful when it comes to visualizing your people, your organization in a way that's just easy to digest. Now everybody's kind of used to looking at a map, right? Whether it's on your phone or it's kind of on a desktop. Now a map allows you to visualize a certain size of an element by bubble, by city or state or country, and depending on really what data you want to see in an easy to digest manner. But without further ado, let's dive right in. I'm going to show you how you can do everything yourself within a map. All right, so the very first thing we want to do is go into our table view that we have here. We're going to go into our city and state columns, and we want to format them appropriately because if you don't, it's not going to read within the map. So all we're going to do here is go to data category and just simply select what it is, whether it's a city or a state. So we know this one is a city here, and then we know state is a state, right? You also have other options as well, such as state or province, country, continent, and that just allows you different visuals within the map itself, depending on how do you want to pinpoint your bubbles that you have within the map itself. We also have longitude, latitude, so if you want to get even more specific going into a map, you can also do that as well. That's just up to you. But for now, we'll just kind of categorize them once again. And then as you can see on the right-hand side, everything kind of changes, right? So it adds a little globe icon next to it, and that tells you that's formatted in a very particular way. All right, so the map that we're going to play with today is going to be this one right here. It's going to be that globe little icon. And I'm just going to bring this over here. We're just going to fill up this canvas as much as we can. And now we're going to put in our little values here, right? So we have location, we have legend, we have latitude, we have longitude. So we're not going to use those two. We have bubble size and we have tooltips as well. So tooltips is going to allow you just to put in more detailed information. Bubble size is going to be where it really matters. And then also the location as well. So I'm just going to expand my little table out. I'm going to bring city over to location. And then I'm going to go ahead and bring my quantity over. So what's going to be my quantity? So for this one, it's going to be name. Now, if you have duplicate names, you probably want to put like an employee ID or something particular to a member, right? So if I hover over one of these now, this can tell me the count by the city. Now, if we wanted to change that up a little bit, we want to remove city. We're going to put state in there. That's fine too. We have the state value and the map itself. But we're going to leave it as city, and then we can put legend as well. So they can put state as a legend up here if we want. And then it color codes everything, as you can see on the top here. So now we have different colors. And what we're going to do now is we're going to go into formatting, and we're going to change the map. So we can change the style to whatever we really want here. So we can go Arial, we can go dark, we can go light, grayscale, and the road, which we're looking at. So let's go dark. And we can see here that everything's kind of hard to see now, right? We're also going to put a zoom button here. We're going to put a lasso button as well. Now minimize that real quick. Now we're going to go to our bubble size and we're going to change it a little bit. So we're going to just move this slider over just a little bit, and we're just going to increase the size. And then now what we want to do is change the colors as well. So we can make the colors a little bit brighter just so they're easy to see a little bit more. So I'm just going to take whatever color it is, and I'm just going to move up on the scaling just a little bit. We could also turn on the category labels. So now you can see which city is actually highlighted, right? So now it pops. So now you have a contrast between the entire background of the map and then these cities that are also applied to your data points. And we can increase that size too. And we could change the background of the value itself. So we can go white if we want. Increase the transparency just a little bit, just so it sticks out a little bit more, right? So once we're done with that, we can go to general. We could change the title. We can do total by city if we want. We can increase that, make that title bold as well. We can put a border around the map. I usually don't like to do that. We can put a shadow as well if you want, just to make it pop out more on the canvas. And then we could change the text values too on the background of everything that we're looking at here. And another thing I recommend is changing the naming convention of the bubble size too. So we're just going to change this to total. And then now when you hover over a data point, it's just going to show the actual value of total versus count of names. So don't actually change the column name over here. I'll just change it over here just so it's superficial. And then in addition, as a very last thing within a map is you can right click on it, show data point as table, and now you have your by name list associated with that city as well. And then if you don't like this type of visual, you can also change it once again, depending on what you want, but you'll have to format it a little bit more just because it was formatted for that dark type. Now, maps are always going to help when it comes to personnel disposition, movement of personnel, movement of supplies, location of sales, all those kinds of things that are associated with geographical locations, right? So I would just advise you to always use a map as much as you can because it's easy on the eyes, it's easy to see, and then you can augment this type of chart with bar charts and column charts just to provide greater depth and granularity when it comes to what you're trying to present to your audience. With that said, hopefully this video helps you out a lot. Leave a like, subscribe, and let me know your thoughts down below. Thanks for watching.